Повітряна тривога в Криму, а все це тому, що за скоєне біль минув.
Hey YouTube, this is Uncle Momo's music reaction channel where I provide my views on talented artists from around the world, both established artists and non-established artists. And I promise you that you won't be disappointed whatsoever. So why don't you come and join me in discovering amazing talented artists and bringing it to the forefront of my channel for us to view. Now, my next reaction, I'd like to say thank you very much for the recommendation, Vandermeer. Is in English they're called Singing Brothers and is Air Alarm in Crimea. In Ukrainian, and I hope I'm pronouncing it right, is SPIV BRATIV Повітряна тривога Криму. I think it's Повітряна. I think is it like Повітряна тривога Криму. So I don't know much about this particular artist, to be fair. So I'm going to go into the description page, highlight a couple of things, and go into Google Translate and see what it says. So the first half I'm going to do, then the second half I will read out the second half after the reaction. So the first half in the description page, it says, for the first time in this war, air alarm in Crimea, and that's why what happened. The translation doesn't really make sense, so I need some help on that. I'll start again. For the first time in this war, it's got EM. You got air alarm in Crimea, and that's why what happened. The pain did not go away. There's got number one, is there cotton in Crimea? The smoke rose black and the moon is almost full. The night will be sleepless. So this is the lyrical contents. So this is the lyrics. So it flew, so everything is possible. And this is not yet retribution. This is just the beginning. Right, I can't just leave it like that. I've got to see what else it says. Apologies for that. But you know when you're reading something and it intrigues you to read what the rest of it is. So I'm not going to do the second half and then in the second half now. I'm just going to read it all right now. It's intriguing. Crimea is Ukraine. Ukraine is strong, maybe slowly, but we will release ours. And this is the split of the regime. Russia will catch... it's got S-A-S-H-A. So there you go. Once again, Google. Will catch fire, and it all started with Crimea. Crimea will end. It all started with Crimea. Crimea will end. We now know them. It won't happen again. It all started with Crimea, and it repeats itself from there as well. So sometimes, like I said, if you don't necessarily understand the language, there's all possibilities for you to translate that. And even though when you do translate it, it might not translate to the right things. And that's why it indeed is imperative for you guys, if you do know the language and do understand where he's coming from in particular, then please, by all means, like you have done already, write down educate me. And not on that, you're educating my channel for every person that's non-Ukrainian as well. There is abundance, overwhelming amount of artists that want to express themselves in a certain way where it is indeed a message for Ukrainians, but it also is imperative that it travels overseas, that it escalates over to the sea and be transatlantic. And we need to understand that side. And the middle part is the translation. And you guys are doing an absolutely wonderful, amazing thing by translating it. And, I'm putting it onto my channel for everybody else to see. And I'm sure it's not only my channel you do so, the more the meritive, So, yeah, amazing. So now I kind of get the gist and I will see how it's represented in the actual music. So, without further ado, you know what we're here for. Great vocabs and a damn good audio music. Can you dig it? Don't forget about the support and help.
Вперше за цю війну, повітряна тривога в Криму, а все це тому, що за скоєне біль минув.
Okay.
Невже в Криму бавовна, дим піднявся чорний, а місяць майже повний, ніч буде безсонна. Отже, долетіло, значить все можливо, а це ще не відплата, це лише початок. Вперше за цю війну, повітряна тривога в Криму, а все це тому, що за скоєне біль не минув. Крим — це Україна, Україна сильна, може і повільно, та своє ми звільним. Це розкол режиму, Раша загориться, все почало з Криму, Кримом закінчиться. Вперше за цю війну, повітряна тривога в Криму, а все це тому, що за скоєне біль не минув. Вперше за цю війну, повітряна тривога в Криму, а все це тому, що за скоєне біль не минув. Все почало з Криму, Кримом закінчиться, їх тепер ми знаємо, більше не повториться. Все почало з Криму, Кримом закінчиться, все почало з Криму, Кримом закінчиться.
So that was the Singing Brothers and the song Air Alert in Crimea. It's like I said, so what I was reading out wasn't sort of like a, his food for thoughts. That was actually the chorus. So that was, I'm glad that I just read that the whole thing. It was very, very intriguing. So what was even more intriguing, as I was reading it out, I kind of pictured how the song was going to be. I thought it was going to be some kind of ballad, and I was preparing myself. And it couldn't be any more different from what I thought it was going to be. And one of those things is, that's one of the amazing things about Ukrainian music, is that the funny thing is, I haven't felt this way since I first reacted to my songs, my reactions, where after reading the description, you picture yourself and think, okay, you kind of get the gist, you kind of prepare yourself for a particular way how the song's going to be sung, or what kind of instrument's going to be, and the visuals, and it just throws you far left, and you enjoy it even more because it's a surprise. It's a lovely surprise. It puts a smile on your face on the visuals, and then you're stuck in even more because you haven't sussed it out. You haven't got the gist of it. So it's like, yeah, you can paint so many different kind of pictures of your particular view, but you're not really going to get the point until you actually look at what you're supposed to be seeing and getting the gist of what is being heard, And that's quite like, for me, what I was saying before about the news. When you read the news over in other different countries and reporting about other different country, they might not be reporting exactly what the other particular country want you to see and want you to know. It might be on the borderline of that, or might show you something completely different. So when you go onto YouTube and you see certain videos from artists, and you see their interpretation or what they're witnessing or what they're experiencing, and then you hear their vocals, and you listen to their lyrical contents, and you see how close it is. It's like you're hearing it from the horse's mouth. And sadly, is that at the moment, I feel, from watching the news, and I'm not too sure how it is the news from everywhere else around the world it is, but it's almost like we're almost getting more in-depth information and visuals and deep feelings, as well as on the humanitarian side of people who are actually on the ground at the front line, helping and doing what they can do. But you've seen it more in songs and in music rather than it being portrayed actually how it should be in the news. That's just mind-boggling to me. That is just really mind-boggling to me. But you can see how music and artists will never prevail, and will always prevail. In being a voice, in being inspirational, in create energy. And I was saying that before as well. Everybody has a voice. I think this has about, say, 100 and something thousand views. But like I said, a point to, you know, something that's got 1 million views. Everyone has a voice. Everybody should be heard. You know? So I'm glad that I read the description. I hope you guys like it, and go over to their channel as well. I'll leave all their details down below for you guys to check out and let me know what you think about it. But until then, I salute you. Boom!
Це тому, що за скоєне біль минув. Все почало з Криму, Кримом закінчиться. Їх тепер ми знаємо, більш не повториться. Все почало з Криму, Кримом закінчиться. Все почало з Криму, Кримом закінчиться.